Hello, Namaste. This is 𝗲𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗀𝗧𝗏 here once again and welcome back to my channel 𝗲𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗀𝗧 Stock Analyst. So in today's video, I would like to clarify certain myths regarding BRICS expansion, addition of countries and India's role into it. So everybody, you must have seen in last 1 week or so that all this Reuters and Bloomberg and they come out with news that India is not happy and India is not agreeing to the BRICS expansion and India is the one they portray India as a villain. So let me clarify and break all the myths regarding India's role into this. First of all, like all associations or what you call union, like European Union, if any country wants to join European Union, that country has to satisfy certain criteria, which is economic criteria, which is political criteria, which is regarding democracy, social criteria, corruption criteria. So many things are there. So unless until you reach that criteria fixed by EU, you cannot join that EU. In the same way, every association like BRICS also has its own charter and own set of certain rules. So what India is saying is that let us first define the set of rules, that under what that set of criteria basically. So what should be the criteria for including any country or excluding any country? What should be the criteria, minimum criteria of the GDP or population or social system or the political, cultural, all this. And that is where it is absolutely wrong to say as for the most of this Western media, because they are trying to propagate as if India is the villain. Why they are doing it? So that India, this BRICS country or that non-Western countries go against India. The perception of the people about. And that is where they want that India should be on their side. But it's nothing like this way. So in this South Africa meeting, BRICS meeting, Prime Minister Modi is going, Indian Prime Minister, contrary to the again reported by Reuters and all this Western fake media, propagating media, that he is not going to go because he is very angry. It's nothing like this. So that is one myth broken. And in this meeting, the set of criteria will be decided about inclusion, because there are many countries and some big countries like powerful and rich with a very high GDP like Saudi Arabia and Dubai, United Arab Emirates. They all want to be part of BRICS, and that is where in this particular meeting in South Africa, the set of criteria are going to be decided regarding inclusion of countries. Another second kind of discussion was that India is not happy about the BRICS currency or something. So let me be also clarify about that. Is that after setting the criteria for including countries into this, even though officially everybody is saying that this is not on the agenda of BRICS currency to come out or discuss, nothing, but informally inside that will be under discussion. That is my view, is that I am sure about that there won't be any official memorandum regarding BRICS currency or anything, but there will be also guidelines and discussion happening into this. Now, coming to one of the major country in the world as well as the BRICS component main charter country is China. Now everybody will be saying that you see China has become powerful and it's multipolar. It's kind of the bipolar world where the China is against USA and India is kind of not comfortable being in the same group of union where the China is standing. So that is one of the things that true is that India has problems with China, as China has problems with many countries with whom China shares border. If you look at the history, it's always you will find that China fought war with the Soviet Union also in 1980s about this particular Soviet Union border, and then they had agreement and then things settled down. India fought 2 wars with China. One war with China and recently also some clashes. Always there are border clashes because that they keep on boiling that. And China, contrary to what USA stands for, even though now China is kind of equivalent in terms of the GDP and the economic prosperity, you can say that such a big economy, Does China ready to take the leadership mantle of the world which US has taken? In what way? What I'm talking about is financial way. USA extends that loan and whatever to the countries and then doesn't pressurize like that bank, that if you don't give me, I will take this, I will cut you this, I will, I will do harm to you. And is China ready to take that mantle, just, helping countries to grow and do projects? No, you look at the history of China with Africa, with China with Pakistan, China with Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. In recent times, they all went bust, bankruptcy, on the verge of bankruptcy, and they were bailed out by, say, in Sri Lanka's case, India bailed it out by giving money. And IMF also comes into the picture. So, China is still not ready for taking up that mantle of global leadership from USA. That is why what India propagates is that multilateralism. Multilateralism is that not one or two, like bipolar is China and USA. So two poles. And either countries join this side or that side. No. What we want is that there are some 5-6 major countries who are all part of that multipolar system, so that nobody else dominates the agenda and nobody pushes its own benefits or criteria into the other unwilling partner. That is where discussion has to take place. And that is where India's role becomes the most important, because India being a democracy, fastest growing country, and also if you look at the GDP and the growth, it is really reaching to the third largest country by GDP in next 2 years time. You will see. India will reach $4 trillion by next year, and that is where it will become the third economically, third largest country. So that is where India's voice, and India's being democracy, it helps in stabilizing the situation all around the world. That trust comes from that. It doesn't push its own agenda onto the other partners. And that is where India's role becomes the most important in any forum, be it BRICS, be it SCO, or be it G20, or in generally in today's political world. That is why West also understands this. They want India to be on their side, and by wooing India, by talking, and other countries also want to be. But India plays very smart game. They, as I told, that they are on everybody's side. They are not on one particular side. They want to balance this particular conflict, or what do you call that, multipolar system. That is what they want to. So if you look at into some of this Western media and some of this other leftist media will also say that, oh, India is with Russia, or India is with China, or India is against them and India is with Western. It's nothing to do with that. India looks after its own interest. And that is where this particular in BRICS meeting, it will be clear also. So on the one hand, India is hosting this G20 is going on in India, and BRICS agenda regarding criteria, so that by the year end, we will have that set of criteria that by which the countries can become member, and what can be their contribution towards their funds and all these multilateral funds. So these are the criteria which are going to be set into this. So this is what I wanted to break some of the myths surrounding India's role into BRICS, or what you call non-aligned movement. That's all from my side. And if you like this video, you please put a like. If you subscribe to my channel, and also my 𝗲𝘅𝗽𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏.com is my website. You can send a message, you can read that, and if you want to have some investment and business consultancy, you can send me email and we can fix up that for the chargeable basis. And my Telegram channel is there, 𝗦𝗛𝗃 Stock Analyst. It's for the regarding economics and the stock, or generally investment ideas on a regular basis. I keep updating. So that's what I just wanted to share with you. See you once again next week with some other interesting idea. Till that time, ciao from 𝗲𝘅𝗽𝗍.